Welcome back to another episode of Toys on Tap. Kind of going through this one's a toy dive. I get messages from people that ask about the toys behind me or ask about what I collect or ask about some stuff. And we're going to dive into my favorite toys that I deal with now and that I love collecting and that my wife would tell you I have too many of, but she ain't here. This video's for you. And so we're gonna dive into my favorites, the Ewok toys, and the different artists that have gotten them to me or that I've paid for. But before we do that, thank you once again to all the Patreon subscribers. You are the ones that make this show happen, and it's such an honor that you would like be a part of this. And thank you so much to those that sponsor the show. Rotella Retail, go support them, go buy stuff from them. They have all your retail toy needs. We have Empire Blisters for all your blister needs. Go support these businesses. They're all toy related and we love them. We love them. If you've listened to Toys on Tap for any amount of time, you have probably heard me say that I love Ewok toys. I don't know what it is about Ewok toys. There's just something about them that like speaks to me. I remember being a kid and Star Wars wasn't huge for me when I was really little. Not until I got Power of the Force figures and started collecting and I was the demographic to really love The Phantom Menace episode one. I was that demographic. I think it was 9 years old when it came out. And so to have that be my first real interaction and love for space and Star Wars and stuff was really cool. Looking back, not stoked on it, right? Like it's not my favorite having all experienced everything, but that was my first iteration of Star Wars. I remember being little and finding the different we had a box set of the three movies on VHS, and I would immediately pop them in and I would see like watch them all after I had watched Phantom Menace and be like, oh my gosh, like what are these things? Like what is the I had no context. And I remember fast forwarding through it and seeing like the Ewoks and being so into Ewoks. I I don't know what my issue is with have loving Ewoks and loving everything about them. I had Ewok toys and I had stuffed animals of whatever I could get my hands on. The You've also probably heard that my love for Star Wars happens with the alien creatures. Like it's really cool to have Darth Vader and that stuff, but like Max Rebo, interesting character. I don't know what like some kind of elephant guy like Jabba the Hutt, interesting character. Watu from episode one. Like those are all weird characters that I absolutely loved and like really connected with. And these teddy bear Ewok type creatures who some would say like were the worst edition. I think they were such a fun thing. And so we're gonna walk through some of my Ewok toys that I have and the artists behind them and why I absolutely love them. And we're gonna unbox one that got sent to me by an artist that was recently on Toys on Tap. As we go through each artist, I'll put the artist logo right here. And so let's just dive in. Let's go with my favorite artist right now, or one of my favorites, worst villain ever. Absolutely incredible. It's right here. He had designed one for PowerCon, this Ewok style figure where he has begun sculpting in wax and stuff. And he took an Ewok, he molded it, threw it together with wax, and he has another piece that I'm trying to get my hands on. But the ones that he sent me were Beastman. They're based off of Beastman, which is a He-Man character, and it is all for PowerCon, which is this like He-Man style convention I've never been to. So many people could tell you about it. I could not. I didn't grow up with He-Man, but he sent me this guy right here. Boom. Beastman. Incredible sculpt work that was done on top of the toy. Incredible look at it. The paint apps are great. 2 points of articulation. So you can still see that it kind of has the same shape, body density of an Ewok, and it's pretty weighty. 2 points of articulation, absolutely incredible. And it's as if this wasn't enough. right? Like this is a cool piece. He then included in the pack what looks to be Moss Man and has the same kind of body sculpt and everything, and just like a beautiful green color. Again, 2 points of articulation. Well done. The magnets hold. There's some like the ability where the magnets can hold up the arm. There's nothing worse than when you get a toy that the magnets don't work. They just work to hold the arm, not to hold up the arm. Sometimes we make those mistakes, but that's okay. Yeah, so those two, as if those two weren't enough, as if those two were not enough, he sent a green translucent boy with just certain highlights, not based off of anyone I think still working with the Beastman sculpt, but an absolute killer piece that all three of them, like no bubbles, no craziness anywhere. What's cool and very interesting about him is that he took the time to pop magnets in the bottom of the toy to right there, which is helpful because I have a metal case, and so every once in a while I get a little rambunctious. I bump into that case, and some of the toys like plummet. But his toys never do because there's that magnet piece in there, and that was a cool addition. Not needed, absolutely wanted. And so it's really cool. So those three come from Worst Villain Ever. Go give him a follow. Go check out his toys. He absolutely killed it on those. My next one comes from Plastic Vomit right here. They've also been on the podcast. It's a duo, and they make beautiful Star Wars characters in different colorways. And I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. And they ended up getting or having for sale these Ewoks, and they do the ice Star Wars figures basically. And this is the piece. Absolutely crystal clear, fantastic piece, resin 3D printed. Uh, it's perfect. It's a perfect toy. The way that the arms and legs all move on something this small is incredible. The way that they were still able to capture the weapon and everything that that has, how they still got the hood or the draping over his head, and you can still see all the details. This, if you're ever wondering, is a perfect Ewok toy. Absolutely incredible. It encompasses their style and what they do, and I was so pumped to add it to the collection, and it just fits super well on my shelf. The problem though is when it's next to all these colorful ones, it kind of like it doesn't stick out. You have to pick it up to really like see the beauty of it. And so I absolutely love that piece. I don't even think they know how much I love that piece. And so it's really cool to interact with them like that. The next one actually is quite a few of these Ewoks. I will tell you that I have an addiction to this one artist. He's up there on my favorite artist list. His name is Vomiting Droids. His toys are so damn weird. Absolutely incredibly weird. I don't understand what goes through his head when he's doing this. He's been on the podcast before, and I still don't fully grasp how he thinks of these things. So he has a rule that is kind of uh irritating because he keeps me in line, which is funny. He will post toys that he has made. And I have on several occasions said, hey, claim all. And he'll send me a message like, no, 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 you gotta do one. And it's this fun banter that kind of happens. He's one of my favorite artists, and I like it's awesome to have gotten to know him through this and actually meet him in person. Really cool guy. You'll see his logo over here. But he makes Ewoks that look freaking weird. And I'm gonna show all of them. We start out with the most normal one, I think. The most normal right here. It's the Ewok right here with if you look closely, it's the med droid's face on there, and it's cool. It's got some colors to it, absolutely phenomenal. Yellows, pink. It's got this like semi see-through, semi-translucent view. His sculpts are incredible. The arm is weird because it's not the normal arm, and I love it. I don't know what it is about this. I love it. We're going to start broaching into like even weirder. This next Ewok, no bubbles, no nothing. Also, no face. The face is there, it's a different color. Somehow he was able to have the face where it's hollowed out and then filled with a different style or different color. And it's crazy. It's on my shelf right next to everything, and I absolutely love it. The next one, we got a bigger boy, no face and the arm, and then something sticking out of it, and then some plastic. The My favorite with some of his work is he'll wrap plastic or resin around it as it's like curing. He's like wrapping all kinds of stuff around it. And so this piece, absolutely incredible. And then we start going into like the pieces that end all pieces for me. Absolutely. Not only does this piece have no or have a different face, but it looks like it's underneath the skin of the Ewok. This piece also has a hole in its chest with a face inside of it. I don't know how he does this stuff, but Aaron, Vomiting Droids, if you're watching this, keep doing what you're doing. Oh, the beauty in it. The color is insane. It's absolutely incredible. Oh, it's right there in the back too. I don't fully understand his work and how he does it, but his style is unseen. He is the only one that does this type of style. He's the only one that does this type of work, and it's incredible to be able to have this many of them. The one way I get around the rule of him saying you can only claim one is when he goes to assembly required. Brian from Toys Alive, this is his logo. Incredible, incredible, incredible toy show that happens every Thursday night. And he will go to Assembly Required, which is in Asheville, North Carolina, and he'll have his video streaming. And luckily, I'm able to text Brian and say, like, hey, listen, that vomiting droid, like, claim four, dealer's choice, whatever four, they're all good. They're all good. And so it's funny that he'll say, yeah, I'll claim it. And then Vomiting Droids will reach out and say, how do I get these to you? It's a cool experience. I really do like them. I currently have one, two, three, four, five, and I'm saving my favorite one for last. On top of the ability to hide faces in the pieces, and on top of the ability to have different colors and translucent and not translucent and all that stuff, he then is able to do hoses, which are very weird. The hose piece comes from the stomach to the face, and it is all resin. Somehow he is able to get that in there as a resin piece. And if you look very closely, it's inside as well. And it is absolutely incredible. I've never seen pieces like this before, and this is why I collect his pieces like no other. I will continue to collect his pieces. The next one I am so sad about because I don't remember the artist that I got this from. So if you're watching this or if you know, please, please, like in the comments, say that you created this or something. Nothing crazy. It's just a cast of an Ewok, but it was such a fun colorway and so good that I had to have it. And people know that I love Ewok toys. I can't even tell you if I bought this one or if it was sent to me. I don't know where this guy is from, but I love it. And it sits on my shelf in a special place for only Ewoks. And I'm pumped. This one right there. Look at this baddie. Here is the crazy thing. I also don't know who this artist is. I think this is Vomiting Droids. If it is, it looks different than the other ones. That's why it's hard to recognize. But it also could be Spice Dream Toys. His logo's right there. Also been on the podcast. The reason I think it's his is because, uh, you know, everyone's super generous at Decon. If you go in there, some of the artists are like, "Wow, thank you for this," and they'll say, "Thank you for Toys on Tap," and they'll like give me pieces. Um, which is crazy because always pay your artists. Gifts are fine, but make sure that you are still paying artists well. And I remember telling him, no, no, let me buy a piece from you. And he said, I don't know. And I said, no, I want to buy a piece. And I think this is that piece, but this also could not be that piece. Who knows? It was just another piece that I fell in love with, that when I saw it fits the Ewok aesthetic that I absolutely love. I have three more that I'm really pumped on. This one is from the Wendigo. Absolutely incredible artist. He took an Ewok toy and transitioned it into something absolutely fun. I walk. The colors are insane. And then that eye that is in there, it's like that all-seeing eye. 2 points of articulation, absolutely incredible. The magnet strength is good. It sits well on the desk. It's always a worry, like, is this toy going to balance correctly? Is it not? What's going to happen? But this toy does balance super well, and it's a phenomenal piece. And the sculpt versus how he got the headdress on the top, all of it is a good piece. I haven't heard from the Wendigo in quite a while or seen some of his stuff lately, but if these ever come back around, yes, I will be buying so many more of these because I love them. Support your artist, buy good toys. I have two more that I'm really pumped about. One that got sent to me from Recollection Toys. I've already opened it and looked at it, but I put it back because I am really nervous to put it on my shelf. But I'm going to today, but I'm going to open it. Comes in a box like this. And as you open it, it has like foam. And so I remember opening it and being like super unknowledgeable. Is that the right word? Just super surprised at what was happening because I didn't know that this was going on. So you get a cool sticker right there. Recollection. He makes porcelain toys. When I was little, I remember being in my grandmother's house and seeing porcelain dolls and being freaked out. He redeems that for me so that I don't have to deal with weird like feelings of, oh, that's porcelain. This toy is absolutely phenomenal. This toy is made out of porcelain, and all the things that you would want in a Wicket character are here. Absolutely, all of it is porcelain. Absolutely incredible. What's really cool about this is it feels like glass, like porcelain does. It feels like it's a ceramic. All the details are still in the piece. You wouldn't expect that from something so small, but all the details are there. The fur is there. The headdress is on top. It's perfect. The spear right there knocked it out of the park with the spear. He sells different editions of these types of toys through his Etsy shop and then through DKE Toys. Absolutely incredible. He was so thoughtful in this and so had so much forethought that he creates these little pegs. And on the bottom, let's see if it'll focus in, there's a hole. And so it goes in like so that this piece never falls. And it sits there and it has this most like glorious hue or this most glorious, pristine look of it. And it's an absolute incredible piece. And I am so pumped to add it to the collection of all these Ewok toys. Um, the last piece that I am really pumped about, I just got it from Culture Pop Toys right here. He is not the maker. The maker of this is Killer Bootlegs, who's been in the scene for quite a while. When we talk about the scene, we talk about the resin bootleg scene. We kind of have it as the start with Sucklord, probably 2004-ish. And what we've come to find out is though he was not the start, he is the person that made it kind of what it is today and like started it this way. I have some toys behind me. If you could see right there, and I have a video about it. It is the Walt Sickle piece, and we have that starting back in 1989 with a resin piece that has an addition and it's being sold, and it was incredible. And I got my hands on one of the later editions. And so Sucklord comes on the scene, and then there's a second wave of people that come on after him, and Killer Bootlegs comes on. And he is the creator of Phantom Star Killer. He sells with Super 7, all kinds of amazing things. He has a comic book for Phantom Star Killer. He has Knuckle Duster, which is a cool character as a side thing to Phantom Star Killer. And I was able to acquire one of his older pieces from 2012, December 2012 to be exact, called The Ewoking Dead. This is the header card for it. Great piece. Edition of 25. This is number 21. I have reached out to people that this is how intense it got for a little bit. I was reaching out to people that I saw comment on a post of his from like 2012 or 2013 when he was selling them. And I've reached out to those people to say like, "Hey, do you still have this piece? How can I acquire this piece from you?" And then Tyler Ham from Culture Pop ended up having one for sale because he was getting rid of some of his pieces, and I picked it up, and it's an incredible piece. 2 points of articulation. The stomach has like this middle piece torn out, and there's like ribs and blood showing. The eyes and the mouth are open a little bit. He's got one eye. Here's the cool thing. This piece is the Ewok. It has been flocked, so it has this like furry type texture, which adds a whole nother thing to it. It has this magnetic articulation, or this non-magnetic articulation to it, sorry. And then it has a fleece garment over its head. Let's dive in. This piece is an absolute wonder. Incredible piece. It's over 10 years old. I think it's 12 years old now. And that is a piece that has been added to the collection that I'm really excited for. From the paint apps to on it, to the moss-like feel of the flocking, to the fleece over the head, to all the intentionality with the gut showing and the blood dripping. This piece is one of a kind, and I'm so pumped. He's done several editions of it where some are carded, some are in clamshells, some are bagged. This was one of the bagged ones, one of his earliest ones, and I'm so pumped to be able to add it to my Ewok collection. Ewok toys are the top thing that I will collect above all. Next, of course, is my like Ninja Turtle bootlegs, but those are the ones that I absolutely love because they connect with my childhood, and so it's cool to see what artists do with them. But thanks for stopping by on this toy dive with Toys on Tap.